Hello class, welcome back. Glad you're all here. Let's get seated so we can get started with today's exciting new lessons. We're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to talk about something everybody loves to talk about. It's called feelings. Okay, so we're going to be doing things where we look at a chart and we look at all types of different feelings we have. Conversation about feelings. We're going to talk about greetings that always happen and the standard greetings. And then when we go outside the boundaries and we really give people an answer of actually how we are feeling and see what they do. Okay, so anyways, let me just read something from this book called Happiness. Plan a trip. Even if you can't go on a holiday for a while, plan ahead for a time when you can. It's often the anticipation of a positive event, not the event itself, that makes us happy. See that? So just thinking about something good that's going to happen makes you happy. Let's look at another one. I'm going to just flip to anything in the book. There's 365 different ones of them. Just open this page and say, banish negative thoughts. Try writing down your negative thoughts on a piece of paper and then throw the paper away. Research suggests that physically discarding your worries can actually lessen their hold on you. Well, that sounds pretty good. Let's do that, everybody. Okay, class, what I want you to do is take out a piece of paper and I want you to write on the piece of paper your current negative thoughts. Just take it out, okay? So go ahead and write it on a piece of paper. And there you go. All right, we'll do this for 2 minutes and then we'll come back. Okay, welcome back. That's good. I'm glad you wrote down your negative thoughts on a piece of paper. Now what I want you to do is I want you to take the piece of paper where you wrote your negative thoughts on it and I want you to crumple it up. That's called crumpling. And all up into your hand and make it into a small ball. Then I want you to take your negative thoughts and I want you to put it where they should be. Right into the garbage. So I'm going to pass this around so you can throw yours in the garbage. Okay, wasn't that fun? Don't you feel better now? Those bad feelings are gone. Keep your good feelings though. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over this chart right here. See that? Right there is a chart of feelings. And you can see on there, there's happy, mad, sad, fear, calm, and stressed. What is it? Strong. All right, and then each of those categories has subcategories. Like happy, it goes along with creative, cheerful, inspired, energetic, hopeful, and excited. Okay? Mad, though, it goes with hurt, hateful, critical, frustrated, annoyed, and jealous. Okay, now let's talk about greetings. The one thing that everybody always says to each other is they ask, how are you? And everybody usually says, I'm fine. I am fine. And that's very typical. You'll hear it at grocery stores, you'll hear it at work, you hear it everywhere. But it's kind of boring, isn't it? Look at all these feelings and emotions we have. And I want you to write down different responses than using I am fine. So for example, if somebody asks the question, how are you? And you'd say, I'm better than I deserve. Well, that's actually from a news host on the radio. His name's Dave Ramsey. Whenever he's asked by the guests who call in, how are you? He always says, better than I deserve, which is his signature response. But what I like about it is that he breaks away from the norm. and breaking away from the norm makes life richer and fuller. So I really like it if you would do that. So I want you to take out a sheet of paper and I want you to write down and talk about with your neighbor different responses than I am fine. So what I want you to do is I want you to take out your piece of paper and I want you to work with another student. I want you to write your new responses other than I'm fine. Okay? All right. Let's do that for 5 minutes. So let's have a couple of students come up in front of the class and practice those and see what they say. So go ahead. Pedro, Claudia, I'd like you to be first. So Claudia, ask Pedro, how are you? And Pedro, give her your response. Okay, and then Pedro, ask Claudia, how is she? And then Claudia, give your favorite response that you just worked on. All right, very good. You see how that works? See, we don't always have to say, I am fine. The other things we say actually stir up into other conversations with people. It's pretty nice. All right. Okay. Let's go on to the next topic. We're going to be going into an independent practice today, so I want to get you prepared for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and write a paragraph or 2 or 3. The more paragraphs you write, the better, because the more you write, the more you practice. But I want you to write at least 1 paragraph. What it's going to be about is talking about yourself, and I want you to use as many feeling words. For example, have you done anything exciting today? What made you smile today? How did you meet that someone special in your life? What's your favorite form of social media? What was the last book you read? Do you listen to podcasts? What topic would you like to share with the class? Okay, so you can choose from those topics, and write about it. I want to show you some example of what some other students have done in the past. Okay? I have a couple of models I want you to look at. Okay? So, one of my students in the past, her name was Amy W. She wrote this story about, will you still love me tomorrow? Okay? Here it is. There's a model. So you can take that with you. You can use that as an example. And then another one of my students, Jessica, she has a diary she likes to keep, and she gave me a section of her diary for the assignment about feelings. And she was feeling bored that day, and you can read this and see what happened to Jessica. And you've seen how they wrote it. So that's a good model for what it's expected to do when you do your assignment. So I'd like you to do that on your own at home as homework, because I want you to write a few paragraphs about any of these topics that were listed. All right, thank you very much. It was a good class. Let's be dismissed, and I'll see you at the next class. Thank you.